Hey guys, what is up? It's your one and only Ming Lee. If you're new to my channel, what's good with it? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. What's up?
Hey, what's up? So who is Ming Lee?
Well, Ming Lee is the beautiful boss bitch from St. Louis, Missouri. Raised up upon the north side of St. Louis with just dreams and goals.
So how was it living in St. Louis?
I mean, it was cool living in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? I feel like growing up, a lot of a lot of what we thought was normal to us was not normal um, to other people, and I feel like we just got used to it. So we felt like it was normal, but it really wasn't. But it was something that we was used to. So
Can you go into detail?
yeah, I mean, as far as like growing up around violence, you know, um, like just violence. Just growing up around a lot of violence. Um, people going to jail, in and out of jail, single mothers, like stuff like that. It was something that we is definitely used to. So it really don't bother us in a sense, even though it should, but it just doesn't because it's just something that we always like we're immune to it,
Mm, so I
basically.
so I know St. Louis got a lot of stars like Nelly,
hmm
Murphy Lee, um, Chingy. How did their music kind of have an impact on St. Louis?
well, I feel like it has the same impact as it would anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? You young and you make it out your hood, especially I feel like especially have those impact on people if they know you. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like, dang, you did it, I can do it. It make you feel like you can do it because they came from your city. Because sometimes we look at these videos and we look at this music and stuff and we feel as though if those people are so much out of reach and they're really not. They just had a dream and they didn't stop and they went for it. And I think that's just something that we just gotta learn. They not out our, they're not out of our element. You know what I mean?
Okay, so growing up, who did you listen to, far as rap wise, or some of your
I'm a,
favorite artists?
mhm.
Mm.
I'm a huge Nicki fan. I'm sorry, I love Nicki Minaj. I listen to Lil Kim a little bit. I'm definitely pro woman, so I love listening to a lot of um, rap female artists. But my favorite rapper overall time is Drake. I love me some Drake, for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, so let's kind of get into mental health.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Mm. Well, I feel like I'm going to speak for as far as in my black community. I feel like it's not talked about a lot of times. I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about. I feel like it, especially with the men. Men grow up, and I feel like they really aren't allowed to be vulnerable because they are men. You know what I'm saying? And they're not allowed to cry. You know what I mean? As an example, as far as the slightest thing can hurt you, and your parents tell you can't cry just because you're a man, just because you're supposed to be dominant. And I feel like a lot of times that affect um, men and even women too. But I feel strongly about the men. It can affect them, growing up in their adulthood. They feel like they can't be vulnerable, which is inaccurate because they can be vulnerable
Mm.
you know. So it's definitely something that needs to be talked about more. I think that a lot of families need to seek therapy. We don't believe in therapy in our black communities, and I definitely feel like that's something that needs to be spoke up about and need to be talked about more.
Okay, so I hear you say speak on the black community. How do you feel about the Black Lives Matters, the BLM movement? Do you support it,
Um,
or how do you
I
personally
definitely
feel?
support it, but I feel like I feel like a lot of other different races they look at it in a different way, because the spotlight is not really put upon them. But I feel like they need to look at it in the aspect of, um, black people, the black community. We go through more hardships than other types of races. I can say the black community and the Mexican community. We go through more hardships, so I feel like we made the movement because our lives matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like our lives matter. It's not saying that no other culture lives matter, but we go through more things. We're the one we're the people that's petricized all the time. So I feel like we need that spotlight on us because we do matter.
Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I have a son.
How old is he?
He's 5 months.
Okay, you're a new
Yeah,
mom, new
yeah,
mom.
yeah.
How it is knowing you got a black man you have to raise?
Oh God. I didn't expect it. Like I said, I'm pro woman all day, but I feel like it's gonna be interesting. Knowing and getting inside the mind of just being a black man. I feel like I'm gonna have to be a woman that's gonna, have to look out for a black man and raise a black man. So it's definitely gonna be an adventure. Black men go through a lot, you know what I mean? And I feel like I can get that experience of really getting to know a black man because I'm raising one. So
So
I
did
definitely feel like that's gonna be a journey that I'm willing to take.
okay, so
Willing to take on.
okay, do you feel like um well, I want to ask, did you grow up in a single parent household or did you have both your mom and dad?
I had both my mom and my dad. My stepdad, he raised me since I was a child. He actually named me. Um, yeah, I was raised up in the house with my mom and my stepdad. My stepdad is like my real dad. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love that man to death. Um, you know, my mom and my dad, well, my stepdad, but I call him my real dad. They had a good relationship. They were like best friends before they even got together. So, you know, I appreciate the fact that my dad took on that responsibility to raise me, and not even just me, but my two younger sisters to take on that responsibility, even though we weren't really his kids. You know what I mean? I appreciate that a lot. Um, it was nice, they wasn't even in a relationship, but they stayed together for the sake of us. So we was very family oriented growing up. Like, we did a lot of things, like with the family, like playing cards for money. We would all sit down and on the floor and play cards for money. We had great Christmases. Um, we would go out to eat a lot. My dad would buy us our own pizzas every Friday. He was a real good man. He's definitely the definition of a man that I would someday want. He's definitely a good man.
Okay, do you feel like okay, um, do you feel like not having both parents in the house sometimes affect the outlook on a kid's life?
I definitely think it do because you have to have that structure. If a single mother is raising kids, I feel like she's doing the best that she can do, but there's nothing wrong with that extra structure in the house. And that definitely has a lot to do with, their kids when they have kids. Um, I feel as though, which is not, it doesn't be the mother's fault, but I feel like, they lead by example. You know what I mean? So it's like if you, grow up as a single parent, your child wouldn't know what it's like to raise a child with a woman or with a man. They don't have that definition of that real accurate definition of parenting. You know what I mean? So that's basically what it is. You have to lead by example, and it's not that it's their fault. It's the men's fault. You know what I mean? But if that's not what they're being shown, they're not going to adapt to that. It's not something they can adapt to. You
Okay.
know what I mean? They're not going to push that
Yeah,
or feel strongly about that.
yeah, I know what you mean. So, any life goals? What do you
hmm Yeah, I got some life goals. I want to start my own clothing line.
mm-hmm.
Um, I want to get like my CNA certificate. Um, I love to write. I
Okay.
definitely want to come out with me some books. I've
Okay.
been kind of lazy on it, but
Okay.
I definitely
Okay.
want to come out with me some books. Um, and I want to take on this YouTube journey as well. So if y'all watching, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Yeah, help me get these subscribers. We're gonna do this together. I'm taking y'all on the whole journey with me. Everything that I'm going through, y'all gonna be going through it with me. So I'm ready to take on this new journey.
Well, okay. I appreciate you stopping by.
All right.
All right. Next
All right.
time.
Peace out.
All right.